The national politics in the past few days has been abuzz with talks revolving around the multi-million-dollar MCC agreement in the face of two high-profile visits from U.S. authorities in the space of 24 hours. The visit by U.S. authorities, Donald Lu and Kelly Caterling, has also been timed ahead of the 75th anniversary of the Nepal-America bilateral relations, as the Himalayan nation finds itself hard-pressed to endorse the controversial MCC bill. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Nepal Bar Association warns of stern protest programs if Chief Justice Rana doesn't leave the office by today. Full court meeting decides to schedule hearings by drawing lots from now onwards. Assistant Secretary for South and Central Asian Affairs Donald Lu presses for MCC agreement. Premier Sher Bahadur Deuba says he has worked for the endorsement of the US-funded multi-million-dollar deal. Pakistan lawmakers pass new anti-rape legislation that aims to speed up convictions and impose tougher sentences. Convicted serial rapists could face chemical castration. And the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League kicks off from today. Friends Club to face Sadbatra Youth Club in the inaugural match. Nepal Bar Association, that has remained agitated demanding for the resignation of Chief Justice Cholendra Shamsher Rana, hosted a last-minute press conference yesterday announcing that it would launch fresh protest programs if the Chief Justice did not leave his office by the next day. The association was more agitated following police intervention in the protest program yesterday. The justices again hinted of not participating in any of the hearings, concluding that their decision to resume work through the drawing of lots has been used as a ploy to weaken the ongoing protest programs. The Nepal Bar Association has said that Chief Justice Rana has kept the judiciary hostage by not resigning from his post, even as the entire legal fraternity had, what they said, boycotted Chief Justice Rana. Earlier yesterday, the police had intervened with the protest programs of the Nepal Bar Association after legal practitioners tried to obstruct Chief Justice Rana from entering the court premises. The legal practitioners were further agitated as some of their colleagues were injured during a scuffle with the police. Meanwhile, the Nepal Bar Association has called on organizations, including the Nepal Human Rights Commission, to initiate a probe into the police action. They have also drawn the attention of the Home Ministry to remove the security from the court premises. Meanwhile, security personnel arrested some outsiders who had reached the court premises with the intention of disturbing the protest program of the Nepal Bar Association. U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Donald Lu has urged Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba to create a congenial environment for the endorsement of the MCC agreement. U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Lu called on Prime Minister Deuba yesterday evening in Balwatar, stating that the U.S. has expected the multi-million-dollar agreement to move ahead unhindered. According to a participating member in the meeting, Prime Minister Deuba, on his part, briefed that he had worked for the endorsement of the bill while he was in the opposition and now as the executive head. The two leaders also discussed on the COVID pandemic and vaccination program, human rights and refugee issues, climate change, strengthening of democracy, among other agendas. Earlier, visiting Assistant Secretary of State Lu had reached Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital in the capital's Maharajganj and took stock of the ongoing vaccine campaign. Meanwhile, Donald Lu is also scheduled to call on Foreign Minister Narayan Khadga today. In the meantime, Deputy Assistant Secretary for South and Central Asian Affairs Kelly Caterling also arrived in Kathmandu yesterday. Caterling has joined the visiting delegation of Donald Lu. The visit of the U.S. authorities Lu and Caterling has been timed ahead of the 75th anniversary of Nepal-America bilateral relations. Meanwhile, even as Nepali Congress has been harping on the endorsement of the MCC deal, the other ruling partners, including CPN Maoist Center and CPN Unified Socialist, have largely remained silent on the issue. Lack of oxygen had resulted in numerous deaths during the second wave of COVID-19 in the country 5 months ago. The government took initiative and was able to manage intensive care units and ventilators with the support of foreign donors. However, these equipment, worth millions of rupees, are now left unused, and some are even dumped in warehouses. More in this report.
Gandaki provincial government has allocated 16.9 million rupees to install 5 ICU beds, including 3 ventilators in Lumjung District Hospital. However, these equipment have not been used due to lack of skilled manpower. Unfortunately, there is a matching scenario in Panchthar district as 4 ventilators worth 20 million rupees procured a year back are languishing in warehouse, while 10 ICU beds installed in the hospital are also left unused. There were 524 ICU beds and 222 ventilators available in hospitals before the pandemic gripped the country. Following the procurement and support from donors, there are 2,944 ICU beds and 1,087 ventilators in hospitals across the country. However, many of these medical equipment have been left unattended due to lack of skilled workforce. Data reveal that there are 40,000 medical workers across the country, while additional 8,846 individuals are trained for critical care for emergency cases. However, the government has remained indifferent even as such costly medical equipment worth millions of rupees have been left unattended. People are still struggling to get medical service even as the government has allocated billions of rupees budget for health sector.
In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the local residents in several districts regarding their opinion on the inability to use the available resources and equipment in hospitals. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
भएका सरकारी नीति र विधिहरूको उचित व्यवस्थापन नहुनु
अब त्यसमा वेल मेसिनहरु छ तर जनशक्ति कम छ
प्राविधिक कठिनाइ हो अथवा दक्ष जनशक्तिको अभाव हो
दिएर मात्र भएन बिरामीलाई चाहिँ सेवा सुविधा दिन पर्यो
समिति मुखदर्शक बसेर हेरिरहेको छ
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. And here's the question: what should be done to make money deposited at cooperatives more secure? Your options are A, suitable investment, B, monitoring and vigilance, and C, established loan information center. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the sports news. The 43rd edition of the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League football kicks off in the capital's Dasrat Stadium from today. The football governing body ANFA organized a press conference yesterday to inform that all the preparations for the tournament has been completed. The inaugural match that will be played under floodlights will see an encounter between Friends Club and Sadopatu Youth Club. The match is scheduled to kick off at 4:45 p.m. Machindra are the defending champions, while the winner this time will bag a cash award of 7.5 million rupees. The runners-up will be richer by 5 million rupees, while the third-placed team will collect 2.5 million rupees. 14 teams are participating in this year's A-Division League, with each team playing 13 matches. 91 matches will be played in total. Speaking on the eve of the tournament, captains of all the teams said that their objective would be to lift the championship. Kantipur television will bring live coverage of the match from the Dasrat Stadium later today. Nepal clean-swept the 3-match international T20 series against Qatar with another big win yesterday, securing a 109-run victory. In the third and final match of the series played in Doha yesterday, Nepal elected to bat first and posted 164 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. Sita Radhamagar top scored for Nepal with an unbeaten 82. Sita has become the third Nepali woman player to score a half-century in international matches. Sita added 67 runs for the second-wicket partnership with Jyoti Pandey, who scored 24 runs. In reply, Qatar were restricted to 55 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. Both Nepal and Qatar are preparing for the World Cup qualifiers that begins from coming Monday in UAE, also involving host UAE, Hong Kong, Bhutan, Malaysia, and Kuwait. The top team will contest the global qualifiers, while T20 Women World Cup is being held in 2023 in South Africa. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.